Hello, this is mostly for my remote students, but it can be useful for anyone who just wants some feedback on this assignment. So I'm just going to explain the Young Publishers presentation. You are not going to be doing a book review this quarter. Just for the record, we don't have to do one in the fourth quarter either. But for this quarter, you're going to complete a Google slideshow. And my remote students, we will find a time over the course of April 5th, the week of April 5th, to meet all together and present our slideshows to each other, okay? So as it says here, you don't have to write an AR book. You're going to be making a Google slideshow and presenting it to the class. The directions are in this doc, AR Young Publishers Conference. The grading rubric is here, and the one called Publisher AR Rubric, and a model slideshow is here, right there, okay, Young Publisher model. So what you would do is you would open up your untitled presentation, and you would just start right there. Your presentation needs to be in here, or at least attached to here, so I can have access to it and grade it. So make sure it's attached, or better yet, make sure you use the one I provided, okay? So I'm just going to go through, try to keep it quick so you don't have to waste your time. So basically, as it says here, we're going to play make-believe, right? Your task, you're working for a publishing company. You've been given an unpublished manuscript, wink, wink, that's your accelerated reader book, okay? And you must decide whether or not our company that you work for, wink, wink, if we should publish it or not. So you must present this information to the CEO, wink, wink, that's me, and the rest of the board, which will be your classmates. And in this presentation, you outline the major aspects of the book, and you will close the presentation with a review and ultimate decision of whether or not we should publish it or we shouldn't, okay? We'll be presenting April 5th to the 9th, and we will start, I'll just randomly pick people on the meet, and we'll just go, and then, unless you want to decide to go first. And if you're late, if you can't present, then we'll put you at the bottom of the line, and we'll go through everybody else. And then I'll give you another chance to present. And if you can, good. If you can't, then your assignment isn't complete. All right. So on this instructions document, you have basically a checklist. Okay. Title slide, settings slide, summary slide, characters, conflict, theme, and final review, okay? And if you use this, as I said, like a check, as a checklist, and just do all of these things on here, I promise you, if you complete this, if you follow the instructions, if you're not missing this up, you're going to get the bulk of the points, okay? And some of these things, like the conflict slide in particular, we haven't covered yet. We will by the time this is due, so you'll be okay with that, okay? And then just a few more things. Overall, if you're referring to theme, if you're referring to conflict, make sure you have those definitions correct. So you refer to your notes to make sure you use that correctly. You should check and triple check your capitalization and grammar, because that counts as presentation. You want your slides to be neat and look professional, so do that. And then, of course, you've included all the slides. Just some random helpful advice. Be able to explain more in detail than what's on your slides. You're going to be remote, so you're not really going to be worried about staring at your slides and not making eye contact with the group. You might want to have note cards if it's easier, just so you have something to rely on. And just speak up so we can hear you as well. All right, so just to quickly show you the rubric, it's also worth taking a look at. It basically is that same exact checklist. How am I going to grade you? I'm going to look at your slides and as you present and check all these boxes off. If you do all of these things, you're going to get all those points. You get points for overall neatness and attractiveness of the slides. It's easy to read. It's pleasurable to look at. You get those points. And, it's different for remote people, but you can still sort of look up and sort of talk to us and make eye contact. It's a little bit different, but I'll give you those points. And then just overall, do you know what you're talking about? Is it clear that you read the book? And are you speaking clearly? You get those points as well. Okay. Again, it's different for remote people, but we're just doing this to practice presenting information to people. This is a skill, and it is something we need to practice. Again, it's different when you're at home, but hey, it is what it is. And finally, I'll just walk you through what the slideshow should look like. Okay, so I guess I can just present it. I guess I'll leave it here. So your opening slide is going to be your title slide, and you're going to have the cover of the book, the title of the book underlined, and the author and your name. Okay, again, if you look at the checklist, it's all there. Check, check, check. You're going to have a settings slide, describes when and where the story takes place. Add a few pictures, make it look nice and neat. You don't want tons of blank space. Just sort of make it look neat and nice, okay? Third slide is your summary slide. In general, you don't want to have complete sentences on your presentations. It's just a rule of thumb, you don't do it. It should be bullet points. However, on this presentation for this class, I specifically say when I want you to use complete sentences, and the summary slide is one of those slides. So use complete sentences to summarize the book from beginning to end. As you can see here, Augie has a deformity. He's homeschooled. He goes to school. Then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. This is the last chapter. Notice I say something major. Oh, I can't do that. Something major happened because I don't want to spoil it. But I do take you to, from the beginning to the end. So make sure you walk us through the entire book. You don't spoil it, but you can tell us what happens throughout the story. Okay. So next slide is your character slide. Just your main characters and a little bit about each one of them. I named the protagonist. I named the antagonist. I added some pictures. Not every book is like Wonder, where you have these pictures all over the internet, and they're actually in the book as well. You can do your best. If there's a movie for your book, you can use those movie pictures. If you want to use your favorite actors, if you just want to find random people, or you don't have to have pictures of people at all. You can just sort of have other pictures, or just fill it with this information instead. Okay. Again, making it look neat and consistent. You'll have a conflict. Again, this is not really meaningful to you yet because you haven't gone over this information. But we're going to go over if it's internal or external conflict. It's character versus character, and it's Augie versus Julian. Again, we'll cover this before we do this slide. You have a theme slide where you go over make it a statement, right? You go over what the theme of your story is. Mine is kindness is a choice that we can make every day. And then, of course, I have a piece, some evidence, I should say, from the story to show you or illustrate how that theme presents itself. I have a direct quote. You don't have to. You can just say, like in the story, this happens, and that taught me that lesson. Or you can find a specific quote if it works for you. And then you'll have a final review slide. You can't see it behind this big hand, but you can just make up your scale, 5 out of 5 stars, 2 out of 3 smiley faces, whatever your scale is. And I said everyone should read it. And then I gave a big thumbs up as far as we should definitely publish this. Okay, so that's that. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you watch this because this is going to be very helpful. And I guess I'm saying this at the end of the slideshow, which you're watching. Why am I still talking about it? I don't know. I guess I'll stop. Let me know if you have questions. All right, bye.